Hi, Alex Fortey here and welcome to the Art of Simple Golf, where we're trying to make this game just a little bit easier, a bit simpler, and you playing better golf. Today, I'm asking you a question. Are you golf's answer to Elvis Presley? What I mean by that is, are your legs causing you stress, bad shots, and inconsistencies in your golf swing? If you fall into this category, you might not be the world's greatest dancer, but I guarantee you're going to be hitting some worse golf shots than you have to. So let's show you that when you use the legs in the right way, easier, your shots are going to be better and you won't look as daft. Let's get into it. So, Elvis Presley, quite a performer. I don't know how good he was at golf, but if he did some of his moves, it's not going to do him too many favors. And what I'm talking about is, I see it so often, whether it's people sending me their swings, whether I'm just watching people around the golf course, or even when I'm giving lessons in person. The tendency, I don't quite know where it comes from. It seems like people either fit into two categories, but I would say this is more the people trying to get a bit more distance. And what we're looking at is the Elvis element is sort of doing this a bit too much as we come through the ball. So what I mean is, as I show you from down the line here, just ignore this sort of stick for a moment. If I show you here, what we're looking at is from the top, everything sort of thrusts forward that way. The legs are sticking out, the heels coming off the ground in this sense, and everything's sort of thrown out of whack, and then we have to sort of catch up that way. And it's usually trying to get a bit more distance or something like that. And it's this kind of Elvis move. That's through the ball. But there's also on the backswing, even if we're resisting a bit with the trail leg, that left knee can sort of go down a bit too much here. So it's sort of moving forward, and we're trying to kind of get that big turn, but we end up doing this reverse pivot. Now I'm demonstrating kind of crappy golf swings here, but a bit of exaggeration just certainly helps to demonstrate. So whether you're doing this on the way back and this on the way forward, whether you're just doing one or the other, they are not going to do you many favors with the golf swing, because there's a lot of variable, there's a lot of dancing around, and yes, it's not like we want to be static with the legs, because that's the other error that I was talking about, where people are just too static. So we're getting into this position and they're like that. So there's very little sort of movement going on here. Or they try and sort of make a turn and it's all upper body. It kills distances, it kills your lower back. It's just not good. So we have to try and find a balance and a harmony, right? So I'm going to show you a couple of things we can do. First thing is actually without any clubs. So wherever you are, I want you to stand up and feel this. Get your toes pointed out, a little bit more flared, because that's suiting the way your pelvis is actually built. And put your hands on your hips. Okay, it's not like the Rocky Horror Show, but what we're doing now is making a golf swing turn, but sort of staying within myself. So the right leg is straightening somewhat, but just note that if you were just making a natural turn, you wouldn't necessarily tilt down this way. So, doing that sort of guide here, what you can see from down the line, and that's why I've got this stick in this position, is a sort of a guideline. So my knees are sort of in line with it right now, okay? If I allow it to tilt forward, that's not good. I want to sort of try and stay more or less behind it. I don't want to be lifting up this way, because I'm sort of falling off the ball. So it's about finding this balance, okay? So it can definitely go forward a little bit, but we don't want it to pass the balls of the feet. So just by turning the hips, we go back and we go forward. And that there is the golf swing, okay? We turn the hips this way and that way. And yes, the foot will come up at the last moment with like acceleration, but in essence, that's all we're doing. So let's pick up the golf club. All we're going to try and do now is replicate the same sort of sensation, but with this as a guide. Now, if you don't have an alignment stick, it doesn't matter. You can actually get up next to a couch or anything. Now, I don't want your knees actually touching the stick. It's actually over the balls of the feet. We're just really wanting a visual. We don't want it to be too restricted, okay? This is just a feeling of sort of awareness. That's what I'm trying to get you to be aware of, what your legs are doing, what your feet are doing, and if they're going a bit too far. Because there's going to be plenty of wiggle room. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't want to be restricted. But even with a shadow, I can see from here, I can sort of see what my knees are doing a little bit, just in the practice swing. Am I sort of staying within myself? With the alignment stick here, I can make swings and feel like I'm within myself just that little bit more, all the way through impact, okay? Just making some nice slow practice swings initially, just observing what those legs are doing. Are they staying behind? Sort of staying neutral so I can swing through. And that is essentially it. But by making some practice swings and being aware, you are going to find that you have a lot more consistency. I want to reiterate though, I don't want it to feel restricted. We're not locking the legs in place. We're allowing rotation, we're feeling dynamic, but we're just trying to stop this sort of movement from the leg coming up that way. Because what happens is we're here, then we have to spin down. If we're too static, we're here. So we want that balance of moving through, but staying in line and neutral, okay? That's it. Hit balls with it if you can. Practice at home with it if you want. But it's really going to help you tremendously. So there you have it. Use those legs more efficiently. You don't have to be like Elvis. You don't have to thrust your pelvis at the golf ball or let your knees dance around. But don't restrict. Keep it simple and just smooth. All right? You can practice that at home, on the range, wherever you need to be, and a very simple swing thought as well. So if you liked it, like and subscribe. If you didn't, enjoy other channels, I guess. But if you have any questions, leave them below. And there's also a link that's going to give you a really amazing, simple lesson that's going to give you, I wager, about 10-20 extra yards. And the thing is, you don't even have to hit balls to learn it, to practice it. You can do it at home. See you next time. For the swing. Hi, I'm Alex Fortey and I want to introduce you to the Art of Simple Golf Club. This was born out of the overcomplication that plagues the golf industry, that kills your golf game. So what we have done is recreate a real golf club that you play wherever you are in the world online. So we have the clubhouse, we have the 19th hole, we have the putting green, the short game area, the driving range, the lesson tee, and we have the golf course where it matters the most to really help you play your ideal golf game every time you tee it up. We have new courses added every single month to help you go from A to B all the way through to Z. These series are designed to help you play your very best golf without overloading you with information, with just 1 or 2 bite-sized tips that you can go and apply right now. I will see you on the other side.